Okay, we are doing the Goertz Sprint Enduro, and just my two laps that were what I think were the best laps. So uh, here we go. Won't be a lot to talk about. These laps are relatively short, just a few minutes, but I'll try to point out things I think I need to improve on. Okay on the start. I mean, I actually got on it this time for the first lap of the day. Or not, this is the fourth lap of this event, but I mean, the first time I actually really felt like I got on it getting off the start. And whoops were terrible. Just kind of roll through them. And I was worried about that little vine on the left there. I clipped it a couple times earlier. This thing always kicked my rear end up in the air, so I started slowing down when I ran through that. Slide all the way to the corner, but that one did okay. I had trouble seeing that little entry there every time. I always had to slow down and just scan for it. And now, my weakest part of my riding is this kind of open field stuff. I mean, what actually helps here is that this is such a thin path. There wasn't a lot left up to me. Now, when I get to this wide spot here, I should have been out wider and came in, but I just did my normal bad line of hugging too tight. I liked that there was a path to follow. That helped me. Just need to get on the gas more. And I remember after splashing through this mud up here, the 3 prior laps, tried to slow down a little bit and figure out where to not hit it as bad. So I went off to the edges. It slowed me down, but yeah, I don't know. This was my fastest lap, so I did okay. But I actually jumped over those that time for the first time. Not being able to go very good in those corners. Tried to keep up a little bit of roll speed. Here's another one. Hey, I remember to avoid it, and I went through that one. It was small. That one's a big sticky one that would kind of grab you your bike every time and slow you down. Or for me anyway. I didn't keep the gas on like probably most people were doing. A little bit wide. That's alright. And, you know, I can tell there's somebody pretty close. It's a 4-stroke again. I don't really know how close, but I moved out of the way a few times in the earlier laps in this, and you run off into this slippery stuff when you do that, and I just about ate it, or, you know. So, sorry guy behind me, but I wasn't going to do it on this. This is my last lap. I wanted to get one run through this whole little trenchy, you know, bit that wasn't me moving over or having to do, you know, alter my line. You know, sorry you're the guy that got stuck behind me, but I'm practically the last guy running, so if you waited to run it this late, then it's kind of on you a little bit. You'll see when I get done here, there's nobody in line. There was maybe 10 people behind me when I started this lap, so that, you know, the guy in the rider meeting made the point, like, look, if you're slow, wait to the end. If you're fast, go early. So he was nice. He didn't yell at me. This guy was good. I'm not saying that, you know, he was being, you know, angry or anything. I'm just saying I hope I didn't ruin your run too bad, but waiting until the end, you're going to run with the slow guys. That's all. I don't even think he revved at me, to be honest. He was just being patient, so that's cool. I'm not saying that. I felt bad that he got stuck behind me, but like I said, I wanted to get one run through that little creek bottom thing that wasn't having it pull over and move out of the way. times in the first couple of laps. I went flying off that thing, endoed, and like somehow luckily didn't just fold up and crumble to the ground in a yard sale. It definitely chilled me out the rest of the day. I slowed down a lot for that thing. One of the things I was trying to tell myself to work on here was a lot of the times in these kind of tight roads, I don't get on it. And it's like I don't know what I was thinking. I got confused there. I think I was confusing with another section where you turn kind of left to get out. The arrows are right in front of me. I don't know, brain fart. Anyway, what I was trying to say is I tried to concentrate on it, getting on it, coming out of the corners instead of just barely rolling into it like I almost always do. And there's a guy caught up to me, and I tried to stick your leg out to the left so he knows to go around, and that worked. I don't even think I slowed him down. I hope I didn't hear him behind me until just then, so hopefully, dude, I didn't mess your run up too bad. Got this big red dot on the back of my helmet for a reason, though. Open D or the slow guys. So you're taking your chances if you line up back there after us. And I realize there's top third, or at least 5 or 6 guys in Open D would probably finish mid-pack or better in C. I don't know why I don't know. Mysteries I'll never figure out, but if you're one of those guys, it's up to you. Just figured you'd want to run with the guys that are more your own speed than being stuck behind the slow guys. These sprints are different. Every C and D race together, but it's kind of luck of the draw who you get stuck behind sometimes. But that big line there is all for the A and B. It's nobody in the C line, C or D line. That was the way it was all day. There's my 4th run on the left-hand course. Once again, I know I'm real close to the end of the list here. The people that waited, they rang that bell, and I didn't even get up. I took another 5 or 7 minutes just to put my gear back on before I rolled up there at damn near the end of the line. So, again, there are guys that catch me here that I know are C guys, so I'm sorry, but I waited as long as I could to try to get out of everybody's way. And I hope I didn't mess your race up, but you run at the end, you're going to be with the slow people. Or the people that are trying to self-select as being slow, like myself anyway. Again, that's what the official was saying at the beginning. You guys will sort yourself out as the day goes on. You'll figure out who's quick and don't get behind that person, or, run earlier in the group. Line up last if you're fast. And, one more time, to be fair, I didn't hear anybody screaming at me. They were just, you get the rough bombs, but kind of just wasn't expecting that much of that. Trying to be late in the group. I can hear a guy that's getting close now. Of course, they catch you at all these crazy up and down hills. right as I'm going up the climb, so well, I'm not going to stop here. Sorry. And then this is all very tight. These grooves, these trails are really, it's like a U-shaped groove, so what'll happen, I saw on one of my first runs, is I caught a guy right around the same area, and he tried to get out of my way, and I didn't rev it or anything. He tried to climb up out of that U-groove rut, and he cross-rutted, didn't block the trail for both of us, which I wasn't mad about. I saw what happens when you try to climb out, so I told myself, don't do that, because you're just going to make it worse. If somebody has to wait a second for you to find a little bit of a flatter spot to pull over, like that little section where this guy just passed me, and I kind of laughed because I think he had passed me in the same spot 1 or 2 runs earlier. I just thought it was funny, and maybe he knew. Like, I'm going to catch that guy right at that spot. He'll go to the outside, which I did on purpose because I heard him behind me. Left the inside open. And it worked out great, actually. He just zipped on through. I didn't even really have to slow down very much. I just sort of went wide. He took the cue and went to the inside, zipped on up and around. I don't think it slowed him down all that much. Just waiting to get to that spot slowed him down. Not much I could do about it in that spot we were in. I mean, remember, I say this all the time, but I am in the slow class for a reason. I'm still a beginner, and I don't have all the skills that these other guys have yet. I'm still learning. So a big part of that is being able to figure out where I can pull over and make room and do what I can. Across the trail, it's a mess. So it helps if you find a flatter spot. See, there's a guy, one good rev. That was it. He didn't have to nice find it immediately. Nice flat spot. Pull over. He yelled thank you, which is awesome. I love recognize that I did try to get out of the way. Didn't slow me down too bad. Maybe a second or two, which is not a fast guy, so I'm not worried about it ruining my race. And it didn't. It was still my fastest run. That whole thing took maybe a half a second or whatever. So it was a good one. 2 guys got by, because the second guy revved too, and that's how I knew he was there. I overshot that corner 3 laps prior. I finally remembered to just slow down a little bit before the corner. Slow. I should have downshifted here, but I'm stuck. I say stuck. I just kept it in third and clutched it. And you can tell it's really slow to get going. Totally my fault. So that's why I do these videos, so I can critique myself and try to learn from it. And that was the best I did that corner all day. It still was awful. This thing, I ran wide trying to avoid that stupid bridge, and then forgot this corner was coming up, run wide again. Should have just stayed on it there until about here, but I coasted, of course. But yeah, if you look here on the left, there's nobody here, so I know I was very late in the group. All those guys in the A and B line, tons of people.
Thank you.
That's it. Thanks for watching.